The Void, a cold and lonely place, locked away deep beneath the limits of the world, hidden behind a seemingly impossible wall to break. But I hope you brought a jumper, as you might be here for some time. You see, this all goes back a few weeks ago when I'd logged onto the server to find one of the most active and supporting places, enveloped within what seemed like an endless blanket of burning lava. A place that, from the very beginning of this server, was a space where players could connect and hang out at, now looked like a hellish apocalyptic wasteland. Not only that, all the buildings that players had spent hours creating were permanently destroyed along with the memories we had made building them. And the worst part about all this, the players that were responsible had done this in the late hours of the night, meaning most players weren't even online to try and stop them. Defeated, I turned my back and began walking away, letting go of the memories I had made with all of my friends as they burnt away along with whatever was left of a once beautiful town. A week had gone by, and while searching for a swamp biome, I crossed paths with my first ever base built on this SMP. It had been so long since I had seen this monument that I had forgotten all the memories I had made with my friends in the first few weeks of the server. Now, just like everything else, it was falling to pieces, blown up and burnt down at the hands of criminal players. It was once a symbol of unity and friendship, now stood as a beacon in a lawless land. I knew something needed to change. Players no longer felt safe, and there was nowhere that friends could come together to have fun. All because some players felt bored and had the desire to destroy everything that people connected with. So I was going to show these players that even if you destroy our homes, kill us over and over, and even make spawn the most uninhabitable place on Earth, friendship and unity will always come out on top. And I was going to do this by giving them a cozy new home in the cold, dark depths of the Void. Now, you might be wondering, how am I going to get these players into the Void? After all, I even said it before, the Void is locked away behind a seemingly impossible wall to break called bedrock. But breaking bedrock's actually really easy. See, if you place a piston like this, then some obsidian, a block, lever, 2 pieces of TNT like this, and then we lie under a trapdoor like this, we flick the lever and place a piston like this, and Minecraft goes all buggy and the bedrock just disappears. Now we just repeat this process like a billion times, and we create a lovely little entrance to the limits of the world.
Why are these shulker boxes constantly open?
I don't know. Oh wait, there's a hitbox there?
Wait, what?
We need to get a screenshot like this. This is hilarious. Oh yes, yes, bro. The limits of the world were now being pushed further and further. We had now destroyed 4 chunks worth of bedrock, but the trap doesn't end here. The hardest part of any trap is getting the victims to fall for it. But how do you hide something so threatening in plain sight? That's when it hit me. This whole time, my plan was to clean up and remove all the chaos from around spawn. What if I use the destruction to my advantage? You see, TNT minecarts detonate on impact when they fall from a high place. When they detonate, they destroy blocks around them. But how do you hide explosives from so many players? You hide them in the chaos. I came up with the idea where I built a platform at the top of these lava castle walls. That way people would just assume the platform is just part of the destruction. Then I would get a player I trusted to stand at the top of the platform and place down the minecarts when the players were arriving at spawn. I'd get everyone to stand at spawn and make an oath as a server to stop all of this chaos and destruction, and give the server a second chance of peace. And after removing the earth between the void and the sun, everything we had worked for was put into place. Weeks worth of work had come down to this. Now all we could do was welcome these players to their luxurious new home in the cold depths beyond this world. It was only now, while I'm writing the script, that I realized I had spent the last week making a 4-chunk wide void trap. I was going to blow up half a spawn which I had just repaired, and in turn, burn down any chance of mending the trust of all the players on this server. At the beginning of this project, I passed my first ever base as it slowly withered away, taking with it the beautiful memories I had made messing around with my friends. Looking at this now, I knew that if I was going to go through with killing these players responsible for all this destruction and chaos, I was just going to become just as worse of a player. At the start of this journey, I set out to show that friendship and unity will always triumph in the face of hate and anarchy. But all I was going to do was prove that chaos will forever control this world. I sat with this for the afternoon, completely lost. I contacted one of the players who are aligned with the griefers.
I'm not gonna be real with you. That event I'm hosting next week is a giant void trap. So my whole video is based around the idea that Sup has been griefing almost everything. And I want to get back at him. I want to show that there are people in place that don't want everything griefed. I want the server to be like, it'll look beautiful, right? And everything is just destroyed. And I was going to get you to be the saint or whatever and bring everyone together to take an oath at spawn in the middle of like all of the chaos, right? And then while you were making the oath, while everyone was reading it out, minecarts would drop from the roof or from the sky. It would blow everything up and everyone would fall into the void, effectively losing their stuff. And I wanted to show that there are people that don't want the destruction and chaos and everything like that. Then I've been writing my script, and just one thing is really standing out to me, and it's the fact that by doing this, I'm going just as low as Sup Ninja is. I'm creating just as much chaos than he is. And I don't know what story is going to be best, whether I pull this off with your help, or at the oath, I tell him about the trap. I tell him that I want New Dawn to come together to create a safe space. Because by doing this, I'm just going to create more chaos.
Staring in the face of hate, conflict and misunderstandings, an ever so cold, dark and lonely place, I saw myself staring back. This trap was meant to put the players I thought were ruining the servers into the void, yet when I looked down, I could only see myself, breezing away far outside the limits of this world. I wanted to show that friendship and unity was going to stop this conflict. How could we save this server if we were already so lost in the depths of the void?
Hello, Sup Ninja.
Hello.
Welcome to Spawn. It's
I kind of
pretty
know about
destroyed, isn't it?
this. Yeah.
So, this was your doing. From my understanding, this was your doing. You lava casted the whole of Spawn, griefed countless builds, like the church, chess match, so many places that players had spent hours building and making memories. But once it was lava casted, it was gone. But what I wanted by repairing Spawn is to create a new Dawn. A place that was a bit kinder and respected each other's builds. Now, of course, there's always going to be conflict. There's always going to be hate and pain. But if we can still be friends and still have some kind of trust that people aren't going to destroy builds and stuff like that, I know that New Dawn will be a safer spot. And I need to be honest with you. We are standing on 4 chunks of voided land. Now, of course you could run away here, you could pearl away, but my original plan was for everyone to come to spawn and make an oath as a server to stop all this griefing. And while we were talking, the ground would disappear and the entire server would fall into the void. Now, while I was writing my script, I realized that by doing this, I'm not going to solve anything. I'm not going to fix the server. I'm not going to create trust. I'm not going to create happiness. I'm just destroying the server more. To symbolize us putting our past beside us and symbolize a new Dawn, I want us to both fall into the void, to both trust each other, to fall into the void together. Because only by trusting each other are we going to create a server that players will feel safe and enjoy. So, once this happens, I have an oak sapling in my e-chest. Once this happens, we're going to place down an oak sapling, and as it grows, it will symbolize our trust for each other. Thank you, Sup. Together, we're going to show that New Dawn can come together, and we're going to create a safe spot. On 3, 2, 1. Here's to a new Dawn.
The void, a dark and lonely place, yet as I fell, I could only feel comfort. I began this journey to show that friendship and unity would never falter in the face of chaos and anarchy. But as I fell into the depths of the abyss, I knew this was a better ending. I had accomplished my goal, and more importantly, I had mended a friendship long since forgotten. And as much as you might think I wasted weeks reaching the limits of the world only for this trap to go unused, what better way than to spend time having fun with your friends? I also just want to give a huge thank you to Sprinkles, Swiss Checkers, Large Fireblazer, and Krampus for helping me so much with this void trap. Without those guys, there's literally no way I could have got this done. Like, actually no way. So thank you so much. Alright, bye!